Now, most parents think discipline is one thing, but it's not. Discipline isn't the goal. Life skills are the goal. Discipline is simply the learning process that builds the life skills. Now, most parents have never thought about it that way. They just keep correcting behaviors and hoping something sticks. Today, I'm going to show you what a life skill really is and why understanding that one idea changes everything about how you parent. Now, my name is Scott. I spent most of my 35-year career as a martial arts instructor studying what discipline actually is, how it works, and how to transfer it to another human being. I've worked with thousands of kids across every personality type you can imagine. I've raised 3 of my own, and I became a dad at 19. The concepts that I'm sharing with you are not theory. I used them on my own kids, and I watched them work across thousands of other people's kids. So let's get into it. A life skill is a skill your child needs to successfully navigate life. Not just childhood, a full, total life. It's a skill that affects jobs and friendships, marriage and money and pressure that they're going to experience, conflict and failure, all of it. But here's where most parents get stuck. They don't think in terms of life skills, they think in terms of behaviors. They want their kid to stop being rude, to share, to say please. They don't want them to interrupt. They want them to be polite at a friend's house, to respect their teachers, to stop burping at the dinner table when grandma's right there. That's a long list, and every item on that list feels like a separate problem, but it's not. Every one of those behaviors lives under one life skill: courtesy. Courtesy basically means to be nice. Sharing is a courtesy, and saying please or thank you, not interrupting, being polite at your friend's house, not burping at the table when grandma's 3 feet away, all of that is courtesy. It's just one life skill, but it has dozens of behaviors underneath it. The parent who keeps chasing after behavior individually is just putting out fires one at a time. The parent who teaches the life skill is building a thing that prevents the fires in the first place. So courtesy isn't one behavior, it's a category of behaviors. But it's also a category of places or situations or contexts. Now here's where it gets interesting. A life skill isn't a rule. It's a category that covers a whole range of situations or places your child's going to face or be. I'm just going to call it context. Courtesy isn't just saying please and thank you. Courtesy is how your child treats people at home, at school, at church, a friend's house, a restaurant, on a team, and eventually a job, a marriage, and a neighborhood. The life skill stays the same, but the context changes, and every context has to be learned. Your child might understand that being polite to you is important, but they may not realize that courtesy applies when they're talking to a friend's parent or a cashier or a kid they don't like or a teacher who frustrated them. Each one of those is a different situation where the same life skill needs to show up, and here's what that gives your child. Instead of carrying around a list of things they're not supposed to do, don't be rude, don't interrupt, don't yell, don't hit, they carry one concept: courtesy. And that concept gives them a focus that works in contexts that you never specifically taught them about, because you didn't teach them a rule. You taught them a skill, and skills travel. Now, discipline means to learn or to be taught. That is all it means. Remember, I'm an expert. So when you're teaching your child courtesy across all of those different contexts, that's a learning process. That learning process is discipline. That's a discipline of courtesy. And the same is true for every other life skill. Like honesty isn't just don't lie to me. It's telling the truth when it's uncomfortable, admitting mistakes, being honest with friends, being truthful on a test, or especially being honest with yourself. It's one life skill, dozens of contexts. Each one has to be learned. That's a discipline of honesty. And self-control isn't just stop crying. It's managing frustration, waiting your turn, controlling your temper, handling disappointment, staying calm under pressure. It's one life skill, dozens of contexts. That's a discipline of self-control. Each life skill is its own discipline, its own learning process, its own set of lessons and failures and practice and improvement over time. Even its own context. So when someone says that child is disciplined, what it actually means is that child has been trained across multiple life skills, each one developed through its own learning process across its own set of context. Just like medicine isn't one specialty, a cardiologist and a brain surgeon are both doctors, but they study different disciplines. Discipline isn't one subject. It's the learning process behind every life skill your child needs. That's what you're building. Not one giant thing called discipline. Individual life skills, one at a time, each with its own discipline, until your child has a toolkit that works across every situation that life throws at them. And here's something else to think about. Not every life skill is positive. Your child doesn't only learn courtesy, honesty, and self-control. They can also become highly disciplined at blaming, making excuses, manipulating, avoiding responsibility, entitlement. Those are learned too. They're practiced, they're refined, they're applied across context. That's also discipline. The learning process worked perfectly. It just built non beneficial things that don't produce a good life. Every child becomes disciplined. The only question is disciplined at what? That's what we're going to talk about next. Now, I've had people tell me this stuff only works in theory, but that's actually coming from someone who tried it once or twice on their own kids. I did this thousands of times across thousands of kids over 35 years. It's not a theory. It's what I watched work over and over, and it's what people paid me to do for their kids. Again, my name is Scott Wilkinson. If you like my content, share it, like it, and subscribe to Foundations of Character. And I'll see you next time.